YouTube के ऊपर you're going to find my old podcasts as well. जब भी मैं आपके पास आती हूँ, which is every Thursday from 1 to 2, I do begin my show with talking about real estate. I feel that there have to be multiple streams of income coming in. Whatever we do in life, whatever our primary source of income is, but life is about having multiple sources of income, so that if one source of income of yours gets impacted, then at least you have some income or the other coming in from different sources, because that is extremely important. जब hard work or you fall upon on any difficult times or difficult moments, there should be something else to fall back on. So talking about real estate, the market is going through a transition. In every show of mine in the past few weeks, I have been talking about this window of opportunity. And this window of opportunity is here, and it's right now. Before the end of the year, which is December 31st, builders are always trying to get rid of their inventory, any inventory homes that they have. And I'm talking about residential real estate. You are able to reach me on 972-244-3106, 972-244-3106. The best way to contact me is please text me what you're looking for, and then we can set up a time and I can get back to you. Let me know what you're looking for. I think every individual needs to become a real estate investor. Instead of spending money on your children's wedding, help them, give them the money for down payment, and help them transition into and become real estate investors. Real estate investment is a long-term game. It's not a short-term game. But when you become a real estate investor, when you help your children, especially when they are in colleges, that is the perfect time to start. I'm working with Gen Z. I'm working with these youngsters whose parents are helping their kids become real estate investors. They're helping their kids with down payment money, and they are out there. If your children, you feel they lack maturity, or you feel that they don't really listen to you, let me come in and let me talk to your kids. I get along so well with Gen Z. I think this Gen Z, it's my favorite generation, because they are very true to their heart. They do not care as such about money. So they are not just going to do things just for the heck of it. They are not going to follow your instructions just because you ask them to follow your instructions. They actually are they are very logical. They want to ask questions, and they want to know what you're asking them to do, the reason behind why you're asking them to do what you're asking them to do. And they are going to research, they are going to probe, they're going to ask questions, and they are only going to do things which are going to make sense to them. Agar kisi cheez ke andar logic nahi hai, if something does not make sense, then this Gen Z will not do it. So here's what the thing is. The reason it's very important to start early as a real estate investor is because by 15 years should be the goal. You start now. The goal is 15 years down the road. If you are in your 20s right now, you are going to college. So right there, that's the best place to start. Around you, close to your college campus, you help your children invest in their first home. It should be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath at least, so that your child can stay in one of the rooms and your child rents out the other bedrooms in the house, hopefully with its own bath, so that each house, if there's a $2,500 to $3,000 payment on the house, the children who are staying in the other bedrooms are able to contribute rental money, anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 to $1,500, depending on the house, and it helps your child make the mortgage payments every month. It helps them become real estate investor. When they finish college, they move out of that space, they bring in someone else to occupy that space, and they are able to generate additional rental income from it. So 15 years, the goal should be in 15 years time, you should have at least 3 to 5 properties as investment properties, so that you're able to, if you start at the age of 22, 15 years down the road, we're talking about late 30s, by the time you reach 40, you have around 5 properties paid off, you have around 1.5 million to $2 million in assets, and you're earning rental income, the properties have paid themselves off, and you're able to generate passive income, which means कि by the time you're 40, अगर आप किसी ऐसे career में हैं जिधर you have all these responsibilities, your work keeps you really busy, it will give you an opportunity to have rental income. It will give you an opportunity to diversify. It will give you an opportunity, if needed, to quit your job and to start your own business or do anything else of your choice, to explore, to travel the world, to do different things, because you don't have to worry कि पैसा किधर से आएगा, because you are generating this passive income. So that's the goal. The reason right now it's a window of opportunity is because हमेशा एक वो वक्त आता है, we have just gone through a phase where it was a seller's market. The sellers were defining कि उनको क्या price चाहिए, उनके rules क्या हैं, and the buyers and buyers agents had to sit there and they had to adhere, they had to comply with whatever rules were being laid out by the sellers. Now we are back into a buyer's market. This point, Yopa, because the interest rates have been going up, most of the buyers, the vast majority, are sitting there and they're thinking that, oh, we cannot afford a house anymore. Interest rates are going up. So you know what? We're just going to go ahead and we're going to rent. But the clients who have been calling me, the people that I'm working with, I'm urging them to make a move right now because there's a short window of opportunity. We are expecting another couple of interest rate increases. One is expected in the month of December. One is expected in the month of January. The interest rate is being increased so that inflation can be brought under control. And then what's expected is a few months down the road, maybe 6, 8 months, maybe end of next year, what's expected is that the interest rates are going to start dropping again. So when the interest rates start dropping again, that right there will be an opportunity to refinance. Right now, it is a window of opportunity, especially with builders. Builders are chopping off the prices of homes. Builders are giving you money towards closing costs, especially अगर आप home buyer हैं, if you are a first time home buyer, then there is this window of opportunity for you because the builders are giving you a whole lot of additional incentives, especially if you are a first time home buyer, which basically means that you don't have another home that you would consider your primary residence, and you are going to buy this house and you're going to occupy it yourself. So there are different scenarios here. अगर आप एक कमरे के अंदर, even if you are a single person, right, and you occupy one of the rooms yourself, you lease out the additional rooms in that house, this stipulation you need to abide by just for 12 months. ये 12 months की stipulation जो आप sign करते हैं, this is something that some of the big builders are requiring, because that's when they are giving you these amazing opportunities. They're giving you money towards closing costs. They're giving you money towards down payment. They're chopping off the price of the house. It's a great opportunity for you to buy because just point के ऊपर the interest rates are going to start going down. उस point के ऊपर everyone who's been waiting in the market to buy, they are going to jump right back in, and again it's going to turn into a seller's market, which is something which is, that is not, that's not easy, because when it turns into a seller's market, the seller gets to define the price they want, the seller gets to define the terms of the contract, and uske andar buyer ke liye it's a difficult time. But then, it's real estate, right? It's economics. It is what it is. And I always feel that, whatever life brings your way, don't throw a fit. because you know what I mean, who has time to throw fits? It's all about different opportunities which come your way, and it's all about you making a move. So opportunity, there is opportunity. I mean, most of the millionaires in the world, they become rich during recession. Recession abhi tak aaya nahi hai. The reports say that recession is not here, but we do expect a lot of shifting. There's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to next year. But one thing which stays extremely strong and stable, and that is the rental market. Rental market is extremely strong. Rental market is, whoa, pow. Rental market has just, ये जो 2 साल के अंदर, there was almost a 25% increase hike in rents. So right now you're still getting the high rents, but it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to go out and for you to turn into real estate investors. If you have money, right now, stock market is very volatile. So a lot of people are looking at real estate, and this is the time to make a move. Because मैं जब I've been in real estate for 18 years. I've been doing real estate 18 साल से, और मैंने ये देखा है कि एक different patterns of personalities of लोगों की होती हैं, and ये जो different personalities हैं, there are certain consistencies. So there is that category of people who are always, they're just so fearful and they are so cautious that basically वो decades गुजर जाते हैं, and all they are doing is they're just thinking कि for them, for that for that group of people, it is just never the right time to make a move because they are always consumed with fear. So the question is, who are you? Which category do you fall under? Are you amongst those people who's ready to take risks, who's ready to take chances? मैंने अपनी जिंदगी के अंदर multiple financial hits देखी हैं. In 2016, my family took a huge hit, which it was quite devastating and it impacted my family. But I feel कि ये जो हम word mistakes का use करते हैं, the word mistakes, we use it very loosely and it has a really negative connotation. But what are mistakes? Mistakes are basically experiences. They are experiences that did not give you the outcome that you hoped for, but they are just experiences which, and what is an experience? An experience is basically getting into the field, getting out there in the arena, getting out there fighting, even if you get marred with blood, even if no matter what happens, but you're out there and you're trying. So that's the difference between an ordinary person and an extraordinary person, right? Because an ordinary person is someone who is just flowing and who just wants to just live life, not take any chances, not take any risks, just wants to just keep living life, right, without taking any chances. But an extraordinary person is someone who is out there, who's trying, who's hustling, who's willing to take chances. There's this beautiful quotation. It says, ordinary people believe only in the possible. Extraordinary people visualize not what is possible or probable, but rather what is impossible. And by visualizing the impossible, they begin to see it as possible. And that's what it is, are you ordinary? Are you extraordinary? I personally think I'm extraordinary because I am always ready to take chances. I'm willing to try. I have failed multiple times in life, but I think ये जिंदगी के सब तजुर्बे हैं and ये experiences हैं, and all these experiences basically are preparing you for something amazing and for something great. And वो जिंदगी क्या, जिस जिंदगी में आप कोशिश नहीं करें, आप chances नहीं लें, आप try नहीं करें, you've come into this world once, right? So why not give it your best shot? Why not try? Why not explore? Why not experience? Why not take that path which is less traveled and see what adventure awaits you? And to me, that's what life is. Life is all about that road, you know, that nobody wants to take a chance on, and you take it. And I think when you travel on that road where you do things you haven't done before, when you try taking chances, basically that right there, when you take those chances, yes, you can fail, you can lose everything you've got, but then the stakes are high too, right? You can just roll and just elevate and just go somewhere where no one else has gone before. You can discover things which have not been discovered yet. And, you know, that right there is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. So you're listening to Heart with Saima. I come to you every Thursday on 104.1 FM and 700 AM. You are able to listen to us, all the RJs, all the shows from anywhere in the world by going on to jointhecaravan.com. And from there, आप tune in कर सकते हैं. You're able to listen and into the show, and no matter where you are. I am live streaming. मैं live streaming कर रही होती हूँ. I am live streaming on Instagram. I'm live streaming on LinkedIn, YouTube. I am live streaming in multiple places on Facebook as well. So I'm live streaming in, you know, a lot of different places. जब शुरू में मैंने जब ये चीज़ें शुरू की थी, in 2020 I started my podcast. And when I started my podcast, I remembered that time where it was all just, you know, I was clueless, I didn't know anything, and मैंने अपने घर से शुरू किया था, और मैं अपना podcast मैंने live stream करना शुरू किया. कुछ भी पता नहीं था. आप try करते हैं, आप explore करते हैं, and you know, वो जो एक जिंदगी का सफर है, वो जो एक जर्नी है जिसके अंदर आप जाते हैं, जिस जर्नी के अंदर you don't really know what's waiting around the corner, मगर आप अपने जो भी steps, the steps that you're taking forward one after another, you know, that road less traveled, which is filled with adventure, where you don't know what waits round the curve for you, it's a really amazing road. It fills you with adrenaline, and it just makes you look forward to what's waiting around the corner for you. And I think that journey is just amazing, where it's not monotonous, where it's not just routine, where you don't just get up at 8, you go to sleep at 10, and you know every single block of time जो आपके calendar के ऊपर है, it's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. There are a lot of people who are very successful, and they feel that routine is extremely important for success. But I feel that I'm not one of those people who follows rules. I'm not one of those people who can just follow routines. I like to explore. I like to do different things. I like to experiment. I like to try. And I think, you know, I think that's a pretty cool place to be in, where you're ready. You're evolving and you're changing and you're ready for growth and you're ready to, you know, try different things. So it is 1:25 right now, and we do have another 5 minutes before we go on break. I've been talking about real estate and real estate investment. Whatever you do in life, you know what? Do it with passion. When we come back from the break at 1:35, we are going to go into from one passion of mine, which is heart to heart, which is basically the real estate market update, telling you that you know, builders are offering amazing opportunities for you, but you have to be ready to make a move. And if you are ready to make a move, this is a small window of opportunity. Yes, this window of opportunity is there while the interest rates are going up, because you buy right now and you refinance when the interest rates go down. But once again, builders are all buying down the interest rates for you. They're giving you closing costs. We are, you know, I get text messages from salespeople that I've known over the years, because I've been doing real estate for 18 years. getting emails from sales agents with these opportunities. So if you are ready to make a move, you have been thinking about buying a house, you have been thinking about becoming an investor of single family homes, if you are thinking about doing any of that, reach out to me. My number is 972-244-3106, 972-244-3106. The best way to reach me is by texting me and letting me know what it is that you're looking for, so that I can get back to you, because usually I don't get a chance to answer the phone right when it comes. I do look at text messages and I respond accordingly. So that is the best for you. You are welcome to email me. Email is vip@saimadillon.com, vip@saimadillon.com. So, reach out to me via email, vip@saimadillon.com, 972-244-3106. You can go on my website, which is saimadillon.com. It's SAIMADHILLON, saimadillon.com. You're able to go on my website and check out the shows as well. So other than that, 2 minutes before we go on our break, we are going to, when we come back, we're going to talk about grit. Grit basically means to have determination and courage to push through any challenge or obstacle thrown your way until you succeed. And that is what grit is. In life, don't give up. Okay? If you, मैंने ये last show के अंदर भी I spoke about this, that this is something that I recently, this analogy I got from Abraham Hicks. And Abraham Hicks said that we are supposed to go down the river, downstream. Anytime we are trying to change our direction and go upstream, that's when our life goes into chaos. That's when our life becomes miserable. That's when we become unhappy, depression, anxiety. Our life gets consumed by these emotions whenever we are going upstream, because we are going against our natural tendencies. We, in this life, जब तक हम जिंदा हैं, जब तक हम इस जिंदगी में हैं, gratitude for every experience, gratitude for life, gratitude for who you are. आप कभी बैठ के अपने आप को appreciate करते हैं? Do you ever sit and spend a few minutes just saying, hey, you know what, Saima, I love you. I love who you are. I love who you're becoming. Yes, you are this imperfect person who's filled with mistakes, who does wrong things at time, but these are all just experiences. And you know what? I love you, and I love each and every bit of you. You're listening to Heart with Saima. I will see you right after this break on Grit. Whew. So when the show is on, it's just ek to garmi. I'm sweating because of my turtleneck. Um, So, anyways, I'm receiving some messages. Thank you. Thank you for anyone who is listening. Thank you so much. I'm getting text messages of appreciation. तो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. मैं जैसे हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि मेरा शो जो है, the show is all about my journey. The show is not about telling anyone that, hey, you're wrong and I'm right, because that is not the case. I just come here talking about मेरी खुद की जो जिंदगी का सफर है, my own journey. I come here to talk about anything that I might be learning in my life, and that's it. मैं क्या चीज कर रही हूँ, मैं किसको सुन रही हूँ, कौन मुझे हेल्प कर रहा है, मैं किसके साथ रेजोनेट कर रही हूँ. बिकॉज जैसे मैंने अभी थोड़ी सी देर पहले ही बोला था कि आई डोंट फॉलो रूल्स. मैं रूल्स फॉलो करने वालों में से नहीं हूँ, और मैं बहुत फख्र के साथ ये चीज़ बोलती हूँ. I've been told, different things. I've been told कि people who don't follow people who don't follow rules are ostracized by society. People who don't follow rules isolate ho jate hain. But here's what the thing is. I don't want to be anyone else. I am me. And I am very, very, you know, मैं perfect नहीं हूँ, गलतियाँ भी करती हूँ, but I am authentic. I try to live my life as close as possible to my own authenticity. And when I do that, you know, I, I, I think that's what keeps me happy. Just this ability to be myself and come here and, you know, share my thoughts, my experiences with everyone. Um, uh, let's see. Lakshman, you want to be up in my live video? Um, I have 2 minutes before I go on back on, and hold on. Okay, 1 minute. Lakshman, I do apologize. I think I will take you on next time. इस वक्त मेरा connection Facebook से वो हुआ है, तो I'm just trying to get it back on. So we have 1 minute before. So I'm trying to click your request, but yeah, I just have Lakshman. I have 25 seconds to go. So I'm actually going to end the show on Instagram. So if you guys are on Facebook, join me on Facebook. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for joining. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome to Heart with Saima. This is your host, your RJ, Saima Dillon. How is everyone doing today? I am streaming live on social media. I am on Facebook. I am streaming live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Instagram, I just do the first 30 minutes, and uske baad I do disconnect off Instagram. So I am streaming live on. Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. If you would like to watch live, I come to you every Thursday. I have been talking about real estate. If you have any questions regarding real estate, you're looking to buy or sell your house, you have any commercial real estate questions, I would love a referral, because as always, this is my work, this is my livelihood, this is my passion, and this is what helps me take care of my family. So अगर आप किसी को जानते हो जो रियल एस्टेट के अंदर हेल्प ढूंढ रहा है, जो अपने घर को बेचना चाह रहा हो, जो बाय करना चाह रहा हो, जो कमर्शियल रियल एस्टेट में हेल्प चाह रहा हो, मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार होंगी अगर आप उनको मेरा नंबर पास कर देंगे, which is 972-244-3106, because this is what helps me run my home. home. So और आप मुझे vip@saimadillon.com पे भी मैसेज कर सकते हैं. The best way to reach me is if you text me and then let me know what you're looking for, and then I will get back to you, because that is the fastest way to get back to you. I've been talking about real estate, and this being this short window of opportunity, that's what I've been talking about. And now it's 1:36, 1:37, so I'm going to transition into heart to heart, and I'm going to be talking about grit today. So, this is something very, very beautiful that I'm going to read to you. It is something, a quotation by Theodore Roosevelt. It's called "The Man in the Arena." It is not the critics who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there's no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. So that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. This is by Theodore Roosevelt, and it is called "The Man in the Arena." I have been reading this quotation for many, many, many years. I've posted it on social media. This short poem or quotation from Theodore Roosevelt is something that I personally, whenever I read it, I resonate with it. When I read it, I feel that that's me, because I've been that person in the arena so many times in my life. I feel my face has been marred by dust and sweat and blood so many times. I have erred and I have made mistakes and I have come short so many times. I have failed again and again so many times. But I'm not a victim of my circumstances or my life challenges. I like to take challenges. I like to try things. And that's why I have failed again and again, because I try. And to me, उस जिंदगी का कोई मकसद ही नहीं है जिस जिंदगी में आप कोशिश नहीं करें. तो मेरे से जब लोग पूछते हैं कि how are you doing? I tell them, you know what? I'm doing great. Because what's the use of complaining anyways, right? It doesn't matter. Complaints, ठीक है, we'll complain. It will give us that momentary satisfaction. But at the end of the day, life is all about grit. Life is all about getting up. Life is about getting out into that arena and getting marred by blood and sweat and pain, and getting up and rising to the challenges and trying again and again and again. And that's what life is. Life is all these experiences that, मैं हमेशा ये feel करती हूँ कि if this is the moment where it's the moment you see death flash in front of you, then what would be your regrets? वो कौन सी सोच है अगर आपको ये feel हो रहा हो क्योंकि ये वक्त आ गया है and my life is going to be over momentarily. What is that thing that's going to flash in front of your eyes? वो कौन सी regrets हैं जो आप feel करेंगे? What is it that you're going to feel कि oh my gosh, ये वक्त आ गया और I was not able to do this X, Y, Z, whatever those things are, And अगर आपकी कोई list है, if you should sit down and you should self-reflect and you should contemplate over this and you should think, okay, what is it that you're going to have a regret about? Then you should go and do those things. so that when that time actually comes and it's time for you to leave earth and it's time for you to leave this world, then you leave this world without regrets. you know मैं जब भी इस चीज के बारे में बात करती हूँ, मैं हमेशा बहुत सालों से I always think कि what if this were my last moment, what regret would I have? And then I feel, speaking for myself, none. There are not. There are going to be no regrets. And the reason there are going to be no regrets is because, you know what? I've tried. I am that woman in the arena who goes out and who tries things and who falls apart and who breaks down, and she tries again and she tries again and she tries again. And that's what life is about. Life is about persevering. It's about getting up and keep going. And you try again. And you are that person who feels that, you know what, I gave it my best shot. And when it's time to go, you go without regrets. And that's what it's about. Grit. It's grit. It's about grit, and it's about grace. If you need to reach me, the number to the studio is 214-817-3333. If you need to reach me, my number, personal number, is 972-244-3106. Best way is to text me and let me know what you're needing, and then I can get back to you. And that's what it's about. It's about being that man in the arena. Zindagi jo hai, it's all about, grit is having the courage to push through, no matter what the obstacles are, because it's always worth it. Don't let life take you down, because life is filled with challenges. And, you know, um, these days, there are multiple people I like to listen to, and one of those people that I listen to is Wayne Dyer. And whenever I listen to Wayne Dyer, Wayne Dyer always talks about that this physical form of ourselves is just transitory. It's वक्ती तौर पे हम इस दुनिया में हैं, हमारा soul जो है, it will stay alive forever. So while we are in this world, why not work on doing things which nourishes our soul and which makes us feel alive, right? And that's what grit is all about. Grit is about feeling alive. Consistency of effort over the long run. That's what it's about. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. But I feel that has to do with वक्त की भी बात होती है. हर वक्त तो आप you cannot run a marathon all the time, right? So it should be, it should sway between a marathon and a sprint. Just as long as you don't become so complacent in a certain space where you don't feel alive anymore. So you go out and you take chances and you try things and you see what life has in store for you. To have grit means you have the courage and show the strength of your character. When you hear someone give a compliment which states the person has grit, basically, what does that mean? It basically means that that person has courage and shows the strength of their character. Having a grit mindset has to do with persevering, and it has to do with no matter how many times you fall down, right? You get up and you keep going, no matter what challenges life sends your way. This is a holiday season, December ke season ke andar, we've just gone through Thanksgiving. We are transitioning into the winter break. There'll be Christmas, there'll be New Year's. It's a festive season. They say that it's the season to be jolly, but it's a hard time for a lot of people because it's a time when families are getting together. It's a time when a lot of people might be sick. It's a time when a lot of people might not be able to see their loved ones. So reach out to the people that you love. Reach out and do things that you need to do. So I am going to take a song break here and play this song for you, and hopefully you enjoy this song. And it is Salam Namaste, and I hope you enjoy it. Um, just a beautiful song whenever we listen to it. Okay, so I just realized that studio ki volume was high, so I hope Facebook does not shut down my live right now. But we have, 13 minutes left in the show, and 13 minutes ke andar, we have been talking about grit, and we have been talking about courage, and we've been talking about strength, and ये अब holiday का season है. जिंदगी को जिए without regrets. you know गलतियां होती हैं तो गलतियां होती हैं. um, the one thing, अगर जिस जो जो एटलीस्ट मेरे लिए फोकल पॉइंट होता है, दैट इज अगर मेरे से कभी कोई गलती हो जाए, बहुत सारी चीजें कर रहे होते हैं, हर वक्त आपका ध्यान नहीं होता. Sometimes people think कि you're doing certain things with a certain intention, but people don't realize कि your way of perceiving things, your way of looking at things, um, uh, that right there has to do with you. It has to do with your perception. It has to do with your outlook on things. So जब भी आप ये सोचते हैं कि दूसरा शायद ये कर रहा है, दूसरा आपको ये बोल के चला गया, दूसरा they might be taunting you, they might be thinking a certain way about you, but you know what? That's not necessarily true, because you have a way of looking at things from your own framework and from your own perception, which might not have anything to do with someone else's reality. So अगर आपको किसी से भी ये feeling हो कि someone said something to you or someone did something, then you know what? Reach out to that person. Reach out to that person and ask that person what they meant, because they might be thinking of something completely different, but here you're going to spend so much energy and turn so much of your thoughts into toxicity because you are thinking कि दूसरा आपको शायद ये कह के चला गया. हो सकता है दूसरे की बिल्कुल भी ये इंटेंशन नहीं हो, बिकॉज हम बहुत दफ़ा बहुत सारी चीज़ें अपने गुस्से में भी अगर बोल देते हैं, अपनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन का भी अगर इजहार कर देते हैं, तो it has to do with whatever it is that is brewing up inside of us. So having said that, I think communication is key. Communication is just so important in life, to be able to sit and express what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what is going on inside of you. Communication is key. So thank you to everyone. This is I did have to go live a second time because the first time my connection got disrupted. So iske andar, thank you to everyone who's been watching. I really appreciate it. Omar Hashmi said your language and way to talk is great, but mix up of English and a bit of Urdu makes a great combination. Hey Omar, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. First of all, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कि आपने join in किया, and फिर आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया for pitching in and contributing and sharing your thoughts. I do appreciate it. I keep trying different things. I keep evolving, just to keep, just to see कि क्या चीज़ work करती है. Thank you, Umar. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. You stay blessed as well, and happy holidays to you. And I hope December brings amazing things your way. So thank you for being a part of my show, and thank you for being a part of my journey here. So we're going to go back into the show, and we have 9 minutes to go before the show ends. So So that is Salame Ishq from the movie Salame Ishq. And, you know, this is you're tuned into Heart to Heart with Saima. I come to you every Thursday from 1 to 2. And I talk about everything that I feel passionate about, whether it has to do with real estate, and which, brings me to, okay, if you know anyone looking to buy or sell real estate, I, with all my gratitude, will wholeheartedly appreciate a referral. अगर आप किसी को भी जानते हो Dallas Fort Worth के अंदर who is looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, I'm a big advocate of the fact that every person should become a real estate investor. Start, no matter what your age. Start. If you have kids, help them start while they are in college. Help them get their first property, rent out the additional rooms, let them turn into real estate investors. उनके ऊपर जिम्मेदारी डालिए और तो वो hands on experience से सीखेंगे how to become investors. It's a 15-year game. 15 years में properties should be paid off so that you can start generating anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 in passive income. That should be the goal. First time जब आप घर लेंगे तो you are going to be needing, as a first time home buyer, minimum 3.5% down, 5% down के साथ इस वक्त हो रहा है. Especially in the Dallas area, there are builders I'm working with who are giving amazing incentives and amazing deals and amazing opportunities, where literally with the minimum down, you are entering into the house. You have to have good credit, you have to have a good job, you have to have just 3.5% to 5% down payment के लिए, and make a move. So बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you for joining in. I talk about real estate, I talk about Heart to Heart, I talk about everything I feel passionate about. Live your life without regrets. Live your life with, don't look back. जो वक्त गुजर गया, जो कल गुजर गया, that does not matter anymore. वो वक्त आपको सबक सिखा के गया है. It taught the lessons that you were supposed to learn to help you, to prepare you for what is waiting down the road for you. So live your life without regrets. No looking back. Communication. ये मुझे मेरी बेटियां सिखाती हैं. बहुत सारे जिंदगी के ये lessons my daughters teach me, and this is something that they have taught me in the past couple of years, that mom, don't hold things inside of you, communicate. Because जब हम चीजों को अपने अंदर hold करते हैं, then we start suppressing all our emotions internally. So instead of suppressing your thoughts and your emotions, you know what? Communicate. Communicate with your kids, communicate with your spouse, communicate with your family, communicate with your friends, communicate with your parents, communicate with all your loved ones. Sit down and tell them how you're feeling, because when you stop communicating and when you start keeping everything inside of you and you start stifling all your emotions, then you turn into this bomb that is ready to explode and explode and explode, because you're not communicating. You're not. And on the other side, on the flip side of the coin, you know what? When people talk, when your children talk, don't cut them. Learn to listen. We, most people listen because they are listening to respond. So instead of being that person who's only listening to respond, become that person who's actually listening to learn. And when you become this person who's listening to learn, and you start listening to what your children are saying, you start listening to what your parents are saying, you start listening to what your friends are telling you, the dynamics of the relationships change, because you are listening to become a better communicator. You are listening so you can be a better friend. You're listening so you can be a better parent. This is something that my daughters have taught me, to listen. I was just talking about this earlier, that when I'm a problem solver. in my house. So as soon as my children speak to me, I automatically wear, वो problem solver वाली hat, and मैं automatically सब कुछ suck in करना शुरू कर देती हूँ as a sponge, and I start thinking, okay, this is a problem. How do I find a solution to this problem? How am I going to fix this problem? How can I do to ease my children's pain? Or what can I do to fix a problem? But here's what the thing is. My kids tell me, Mom, don't be a sponge. Don't soak everything in. Listen, all we want you to do is just to give your shoulder and to be quiet and to listen. Don't soak everything in. Just take it at face value. Listen. All we need is a listening ear. तो बहुत दफा जब हम अपने बच्चों की बात सुन रहे होते हैं, तो we are listening to them so we can respond and we can find solutions. But that's not what your children want. Your children want you to just shut your mouth and to just listen to what they have to say. Your children just want for their feelings, for their thoughts, for their belief system to be validated. Your children want to feel validated. They want you to just listen to them and just say, hey, you know what? I feel your pain. And that is it. So ये बहुत मुश्किल लेसन था मेरे खुद के लिए जो मेरे बच्चों ने मुझे सिखाया है, and what I have learned, and I've learned it the hard way because I had to stop myself from reacting, and I had to work on shutting my mouth so I could actually listen to what my kids had to say. And when I started listening to what my kids had to tell me, initially it hurt what they had to say. But जब उन्होंने अपनी सब भड़ास एक दफा निकाल दी, and I started listening to them, it changed the dynamics of our relationship. हमारी relationship के dynamics changed between us that we have become so close to each other because I actually don't listen to defend myself. I don't listen to just respond. I don't listen to just become this problem solver. I listen because all they want is a shoulder to cry on. All they want is for their feelings to be validated. That's all they're seeking. They want to be heard. They want to feel heard. They want to feel कि हम उनको ये नहीं बोल रहे हैं बकवास कर रहे हो, उल्टी सीधी बातें कर रहे हो, कोई सेंस नहीं बन रहा, तुम गलत सोच रहे हो, तुम गलत हो. जब आप अपने बच्चों के सामने बैठ के और हर चीज को बोल देते हैं ना कि ये गलत है, तुम्हें कोई हक नहीं है, ये सोच रहे हो, क्यों सोच रहे हो, मैंने तुम्हारे लिए इतना कुछ किया है. So yay, right there, that's the worst thing you tell your children. I have done so much for you. You know what? Whatever you do for your children, you do it because you've brought your children into this world. But your children have not come into this world to become someone that you expect them to become because they're their own individual beings, and they are going to become whoever they're going to become. They are going to question everything you want them to do. They are going to ask you, they're going to question you. And anything that does not make sense to your children, they are not going to do it just because we have done things blindly. They are going to question everything. And now I've become that person who started questioning everything, and everything needs to make sense. You're listening to Heart with Saima. Okay, so that was a lot of words, which maybe another continuous time ke upar thi. And I was like, okay, as much as I can say, as much as I can get out. So thank you all. Thank you to everyone on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Thank you for being a part of Heart to Heart with Saima. And let's see. Okay, so thank you all. It's 2:00 and going to end the show. Everyone on LinkedIn and YouTube, thank you all. Until we meet again, take care.